Hello, I'm David Hardesty, and in this lecture I will explain the way this course is organized and what is expected of students. In a separate lecture, I provide an overview of the topics covered in this course. The objectives of this lecture are to understand the way this course is organized. First, let's discuss the 5 learning methods used in this course. These methods are as follows: audio lectures, written lectures, reading in the text and in authoritative sources, primarily the code and regulations, quizzes, and discussion problems. Another learning method is the weekly online chat. The remaining purposes of this lecture are to review the midterm and final exam requirements and review the grading policies for this course. Let us first look at the big picture. This course is organized around the 10 topics that make up the core knowledge necessary to understand international taxation of inbound transactions. These topics are discussed in broad terms in another lecture. Here are the topics in the order in which they will be studied. Classification of aliens as non-residents. Classification of entities as foreign. Taxation of non-business income. Withholding on non-business income. Taxation of business income, U.S. domestic rules. The taxation of business income under U.S. tax treaties. Source of income. Allocation of deductions, branch profits tax, and disposition of U.S. real property interests. Each topic is covered using 5 different teaching methods. Each unit includes 1 or more lectures similar to this one. Each lecture presents the learning objectives and the important points for each learning unit. Through the lecture, each student should gain a clear idea of what we are trying to accomplish, how the learning objectives will be reached, and how to determine when the learning objectives have been reached. Students should listen to the lectures before doing anything else with the topic, and before doing the reading in the text or taking the quiz for the topic. Each lecture focuses on the core principles associated with the topic and represents the areas that students should focus upon. Each audio lecture is accompanied by a written transcript of the lecture. The transcript, in addition to containing the exact text of each lecture, includes references to both the text and the authorities associated with each bullet point in the lecture. If you view these written lectures as study guides, you will have the right idea on how to use them. In addition, the written lecture provides information to students about what to read in the text, the code, and the regulations. The reading for this course comes from 3 primary sources: the textbook, Fundamentals of International Taxation by Bitker and Loken, the Internal Revenue Code, and the IRS regulations. Each learning topic has an associated quiz. The purpose of each quiz is to reinforce important points in the lectures. All of the quiz questions come right out of the examples in the lectures, so if you thoroughly understand the examples in the lectures, you will do fine on the quizzes. The quizzes are not timed. As you take each quiz, you can stop and save your results and come back to it later. The quizzes are graded, and the combined grades for the quizzes are part of your final grade for the course. One more thing about the quizzes. You should take the quiz associated with a topic before moving on to the next topic in the course. Each quiz forms an integral part of the learning methods for studying a topic. The fifth learning element is online discussion. I will have more to say about this later. For now, understand that the purpose of the discussion is to get you to work with the knowledge that you have gained through the lectures, reading, and quizzes. Think of the first four learning elements as providing you with the knowledge and tools to build a house, and the discussion is where you actually do the building. Now, let's discuss grading. 20% of your grade for the course is based on unit quizzes. Each of the lessons in the course is accompanied by a quiz on the material presented in that lesson. Quizzes are primarily multiple choice and short answer. %20 of your grade is based on your online participation in discussion problems. More about these problems in the next slide. 30% of your grade is based on the midterm exam, which is taken at the end of week 3. This exam covers the topics presented in the first 3 weeks. The exam is taken between Friday and Sunday of week 3. 30% of your grade is based on the final examination, which is taken at the end of week 5. This exam covers the topics presented in the entire course, with emphasis on the topics covered in weeks 4 and 5. It is taken between Friday and Sunday of week 5. The midterm and final exams include both a short answer part and an objective answer part. The short answer part mirrors the short answer questions in the quizzes that you have taken during the course, and the objective part mirrors the true-false or multiple choice questions in the quizzes. Now let's talk about the online discussion. Your participation in online discussion counts for 20% of your grade. All other things being equal, if you receive no discussion points, your grade is reduced by 2 full letter grades. For example, if your overall grade for the exams and quizzes is an A, and you receive no points for participation in online discussions, then your course grade will be a C. Woody Allen said, 90% of life is just showing up, and so it is with the online discussion problems. You just need to show up and participate. If you're in the discussion and contribute meaningfully to the discussion, you will get full points. People are often confused as how to participate in online discussions. Everybody has an approach, and here's mine. The discussions involve open-ended questions, which ordinarily do not have a single clear answer. The purpose of the discussion is to get you to use the knowledge you've gained to build arguments for viable points of view. Because discussions ordinarily have no clear answer, it is very difficult for you to be wrong, or right for that matter. Some students may find it disconcerting to answer a question that may not have a definite right answer. But think of it this way. The purpose of the discussion problems is to get you to discuss a particular question. Through the discussion process, You get to consider many aspects of a particular topic from many points of view. Through this process, you gain a more in-depth understanding of the topic. There are many ways to participate. You can be first out of the box and answer the question and the problem first. Just as in class, there's always someone who raises his or her hand first. You do not get extra points for answering first, and you do not lose points for not answering first. So do whatever you feel comfortable with. You can be the in addition person. Often the first person to post a suggested solution to a problem leaves a point or two out, and you can be the person to fill in the blanks. You can be the challenger. If the first person to post is wrong or has missed something, go ahead and point this out, but do so politely and tactfully. Remember that what goes around comes around. You can be the what-if person. If the previous posters seem to have exhausted possible answers to a problem, you can add new facts or change the facts. Most methods of participation work, but some do not. One thing that does not work is late participation. Even though we are not all online at the same time, we do have to be more or less together in time to make a discussion work. For this reason, all online discussions initiated during the week are closed, meaning you cannot post to them after the end of each week. A discussion is not multiple answers to the same problem. In some cases, I have posted a problem and have had 10 different students give me the same answer to that problem. This is not the point of an online discussion. When you answer a discussion, read all of the previous postings first. If someone has already posted an answer, do not post the same answer. Just as in a classroom situation, once a correct answer has been given, it's time to move on. As I discussed previously, your posting should add to or challenge previous postings, or should look at the problem from a different point of view, such as by changing the facts. Let's talk a bit about citations in discussion problems and exams. In the lecture on writing for this course, I discussed the requirements to cite authorities when you post in a discussion. I want to remind you of that here because it is important. Let's talk briefly about grading as it relates to discussions. 20% of your final grade is based on your participation in discussions. To get full discussion points, you must participate meaningfully in all of the discussions. Let me close by mentioning the online chat. I will have an online chat room once a week for students who need assistance with a particular topic. This online chat is in lieu of office hours.